at Walmart, going to show you guys how to fill up a tile torch using a standard gas grill tank from your house. First of all, you're going to need an adapter hose, and you're going to just kind of twist it in the opposite of normal. Normally, righty-tighty would be the way to go, and lefty-loosey would be the way to go. But in this case, it's opposite. You want the hose to be screwing in opposite way, so we'll make sure she's decently good and snug. Don't want to overly tighten, but you don't want to underly tighten either. Okay, got her decently tight. Now we're going to remove just the head of the torch. Typically this is a 3/4 inch wrench. Today we're just going to use an adjustable wrench. Now it does come off as regular, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Now we're going to just put the hose on. Make sure she's a little snug. On the front of this we have a bleeder valve. That's just got a little flat head there that can be twisted to bleed as we're going. Typically I like to make sure all my valves are off except my big tank. Go ahead and turn him on. Flip him upside down, and that'll just ensure that you get maximum liquid. Propane is a liquid form until it loses its compression, and then it becomes an air. So you want to be careful with it. The liquid is very cold and will burn you. Once you get it hooked up, turn on your big throttle valve on your main tank. Open up your, what I call the main throttle of the torch. Just open it up. You can start to hear the air, the liquid I should say, flow through. Now I'll just barely crack my bleeder valve in the front there that I showed you a while ago, and it blows on one side or the other. You can use a torch, you can use a screwdriver, a knife, anything with a flat head. Just to turn it a little bit. Now it'll start to blow just clear air. As it begins to fill up, you'll start to see a little white smoke, basically liquid vapors coming out. When that happens, your torch is pretty full. Now there's a little bit coming out now. What we're looking for is a steady stream. As soon as we see that steady stream, we'll turn our bleeder valve off. Alright, seeing the little steady stream start to come out, so I shut down the bleeder valve, turn off the main throttle of the torch, flip my main tank back over, make sure I've turned him off, so all the valves are completely off before I ever loosen my hose. If you forget to loosen this with this still on, you'll get slapped. That hose will act like old fire hose and it'll just slap you everywhere. So now the next thing is you need to remember there's still liquid in this hose, so be careful. I'm holding my hand here, but as soon as I release this, I'm going to move all hands. Really, you might recommend wearing a pair of safety gloves. Of course, I've been doing this a long time, so I don't really use safety gloves, but kind of wiggle your hose a little bit, let some of that pressure off. When all that clears out, you can continue to safely remove the hose. Now a lot of times if you put too much, or even if you just put barely enough, make sure this is off, make sure this is off. This torch will want to blow out with you kind of thing because it's got a lot of extra pressure now. It's got some air in it. So we're outside of the Walmart in the parking lot. You really wouldn't want to fill this up inside. People will complain that there's a gas smell. Probably wouldn't blow up no more than is released, but it is a good safety measure just to not make people panic. Now when we fire the torch up, we're just going to barely crack the main throttle open, and you'll never mess with the bleeder valve anymore until the next time we fill up. There is what I call a cruise control valve. I really don't know maybe that's an idle valve, probably is the name of that. But I'll just barely twist it, and then I'll strike my lighter. Now the first little pump of the trigger, a lot of times will blow the flame out. It's just got a lot of pressure. Or you can just let it burn for a minute and relieve some of that pressure. But usually, if you ever turned upside down and pushed the throttle valve, it's definitely going to blow the head out. So make it a practice to keep the torch the right way, right side up, I should say, before you push the trigger. And then after you push the trigger, you can go down and begin to remove your towel. A little bit of pressure there just built up. Just let it burn out. Push back and push it. See how it kind of blows a lot of yellow flame? It'll eventually just blow a blue flame. The yellow flame just signifies a little extra air. See how it blew completely out? We'll just restart it. I like to go ahead and let it run for a minute outside before I take it inside. That way I don't scare the fool out of most folks. Just pump that a few times. One quick time and then let off. If you hold it down, you're definitely going to blow it out. So just one little quick time, then let off. Especially right off the bat. Alright, she's pretty good and ready to go now.